So I have to admit to being a bit behind the eight ball when it comes to the Mermaze dolls by MGA. Like a lot of people, I really loved them when they came out. I mean, I actually didn't hear about them until they were already cancelled, to be honest. And then I saw them in the shop. I thought they were beautiful and I made sure I could buy a few before they were all gone. But then I genuinely thought they were all gone. And suddenly I was walking through M&S actually I was in Scotland and I saw a new one and I did an absolute double take. I mean, what is this new doll? Aren't Mermaids cancelled? And of course I went online and I saw everybody already knew that the Slumber Party dolls had somehow come out, they'd been cancelled, but then they had been released. We had this whole shush release through the Entertainer just in the UK, and not very many people have got hold of them even now. Well, apparently they are just everywhere in the UK. I looked up on the Entertainer website and you can buy them all. Obviously I saw them in M&S, Marks and Spencer, but just going through my local Tesco the other day, I saw the whole line on the shelf and I could not believe it. So today I'm walking down to Tesco in a sec and I'm going to have a look and buy myself a few of the new Mermaze dolls. Dolls who haven't been released anywhere in the world and are now being sold at 60% off in major supermarket chains surely isn't a good sign for the line. Now, in looking at the dolls, I decided to go for my least favourite and work onwards. So that one is Casey. I'm not really sure about what exactly it is that doesn't appeal to her. I think it is the mix of the colours of her hair with her shirt. Casey has long grey and blue mixed hair, and she has dangly earrings that have a little bauble on the end. Although I don't find that Casey's colour scheme or her face really appeal to me that much, and I think that her top sitting over the top of her tail just gives her the wrong figure shape. That said, I actually find that her tail is the one that appeals to me the most. I just love how it looks like it is laced up, and I know that matches really well to her shirt in theory. It just in the end doesn't quite work for me. The box highlights the fact that these dolls have a colour change feature. Now to me that is really something that is one of the reasons these dolls just don't quite work for adult collectors. They're very gimmicky. The second doll is Kinsley, and she's one whose colour scheme I really love looking at her. There is lots of blue, her fin looks almost like it is made of denim, and her hair is very much the same colour. Her eyeshadow also matches that, but I feel it's a little bit garish on her face. The hair is ridiculously long, and I love that about it. I absolutely adore that sort of fantasy hair length. The top is fuzzy and it's kind of cute, but I don't love it. The end of her tail piece is a moon shape, and it's almost as though it is pierced with these two rings. I think that's a really cool idea to give these dolls an extra piercing and makes them seem really funky and fresh, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need it. Back of each doll's box is decorated with a large picture showing all of the dolls in the line, and then a picture in full of the doll herself and of her face. This one highlights that Kinsley comes with a really cute little bra top that again follows that denim theme. I really love it. I kind of want to love Kinsley, but at the same time, there's something about her. Zuna, on the other hand, is a doll I almost want to hate, but then there are things about her that just draw me in. Her fin is the thing that I really don't like, but I absolutely adore her little alien theme, those gorgeous little dangly earrings that look like UFOs, the mask. I love her bag. She's the first one who's got a bag that really draws me in. It looks like a magic 8 ball. Her fin is really forgettable. There's not really anything about the styling that jumps out except that really weird panty line that just doesn't work with me for a doll that is made for kids. I mean, what were they thinking? That said, I love her hair and I love her colour and her alien theme. Looking at these dolls online, I had two clear favourites. These were the two I was definitely going to be coming out of this store with. The first one is Bryn. Just look at that hair. It looks fabulous. It is these long blue plaits, absolutely tiny miniature plaits. The bag is kind of massive and plasticky, but you know, it's there. The fin I adore. I just love those stripes. They really do look like pajamas, and I think that is so cool in this line. Her earrings really work with that as well, and those little baubles on the end go so neatly with the tail fin piece. The final doll is Monroe, and the fact that I could only find one of her in the store, and obviously then I didn't really have much choice about who I bought, I think speaks to the fact that she's generally the most popular. For me, it was her coat that really made her a no-brainer, but I also love her hair. I think it might be the longest or the second longest of all these dolls. Her purse is also my second favorite. It is just cute and it's got that bow on it. Her tail fin I really like too, not quite as much as I like Bryn's, but it's got that bow at the bottom. The top that is under her coat is a little bit weird, but you know, I think I can forgive that because there are so many other things I like about this doll. Now, I have noticed that a lot of people's videos of these dolls actually don't show a traditional box opening, but actually show most of these dolls just already out of the box. I'm presuming that that is because most people doing these reviews are in the US, and in order to, you know, get their dolls at a more affordable price, they've had them deboxed before they're sent over. So I really wanted to be able to show the boxes of these dolls, so that, you know, you can see what they look like and, you know, the actual package, because they are pretty cool like this, especially for a doll line that is cancelled. You have to really think about that when you keep these dolls in mind, that nobody expected this release. These dolls aren't even supposed to exist. They're supposed to have been completely cancelled. Now, these are the three that I bought, but obviously when I was in Tesco, you know, I got the opportunity to look at all the boxes, which I think is really cool. And I am still thinking about going back and getting the others, but because I have to think about the weight of my suitcase, I can't take every single one home. Bryn was my favorite when I first saw her, and it's because of the striped pattern that really makes her look like she's actually wearing pajamas. I think that's really cute. And although I'm not sure if I love it, I really thought that the fur on her tail stood out, as well as her awesome plaits in her hair. My second favourite was Monroe, and that's because of her long pink coat. I'm not usually that into the pink colour, but I really loved her full length coat. I wasn't sure who else to go with, and the tail fin here kind of made me a little bit wary of this doll, but I love her overall aesthetic, and the idea of the aliens is just so cute. I'm really into science fiction, and you know, why not? Time to Believe, obviously harking back to the X-Files, huge X-Files fan here, so you know, something that really appealed to me. You know, I do actually want to show opening one of these boxes, because I don't think we have seen much of that. And as I go through that process and have a look at these dolls, I really I'm going to be focusing on what I really like about these dolls, but also what I think is missing and might be the heart of why these dolls have failed as a line, which I'm sad about. I really like them, they're super cute, but I'm also not really surprised, and that, yeah, I think that's quite funny. I'm going to start with Bryn because she's my favourite. Generally, I think the Mermaze box is pretty nice. It displays the doll as if she was swimming. you know, nice little pose. There is a fair bit of wasted space, so if you're someone who, you know, wants to display in the box and cares about space, it's honestly not the best. And as I said before, a lot of people are getting these dolls without boxes, as they will come back to Australia with me, for the fact that, you know, a lot of fans are not in the UK and therefore, well, need to have them unboxed to make them viable. So I've tried to get everything. There's a little hook down the bottom where it is sort of latched in there. I actually don't care about the condition of this box because it's not coming back with me anyway. I can see that there are loads of plastic loops holding her in, so I am quickly going to be cutting through those to get her out, and we'll see how many of them are actually attached. So Bryn is free. It was relatively easy. She had a lot of plastic ties all around her. Every single part of her body was attached with plastic ties, as was the bag, but nothing was attached to her except for the two in her head. That's a bit of a relief. I did find it a little hard to cut all those ones that were surrounding her hair because, you know, she has such gorgeous long hair and I did not want to mess it up. If you are already familiar with Mermaze dolls, you're going to notice pretty much exactly the same things. The head sculpt is the same on all of them. And one thing, which I don't know if it's a flaw or not, but because they have such heavy hair, the head really doesn't hold up particularly straight. It will flop side to side. They have, you know, everything is sort of the same except for the hands. These ones have some new hand sculpts. And they also, every single one has their own tail sculpt. You would have seen that with other Mermaze dolls. All parts of the tail are unique to the doll, not just the painting, but the shape and, of course, the fin as well. They are all rigid with just a bend down here. This is supposed to let them stand up, but to be honest, it's not really effective. They do fall over, generally speaking. They have a really nice curvaceous body. I like this as a sort of good mix between realism and you know, and stylization, and it's not overly skinny, so I don't think it's really promoting that sort of emaciated anorexia culture that, you know, some dolls have been a little bit renowned for. So I think it's pretty nice. The face, we can see not only is the face the same sculpt, but they all have inset eyes, which give them a real sort of life, and they are, you know, coloured and everything to suit the doll. I did see another video showing this doll who complained about the fact that she was a dark-skinned girl with blue eyes. Notably, they didn't complain about her having blue hair. I really see no reason to complain about fantasy-coloured eyes when we're also giving fantasy-coloured everything else. I mean, she has a fin. So there's nothing real about this doll. So it's just a matter of stylization. And generally speaking, I really like her colour. And I like that the Mermaze dolls do dark skin dolls really, really nicely. You know, different to this line, these dolls are pretty thin on their accessories. The previous line of dolls had a stand, which was great because, as I said, the fins do not do much to hold these dolls up. These ones do not come with a stand. And I've got her leaning, but she really is not going to stand up well. I know that. In terms of accessories, I mean, all she has is her outfit, which, because of the fin, I mean, you don't need much outfit. She's just got a two-piece. So she has, this is two, she's got a little jacket, and underneath she has like a little crop top. So it's like the most minimal outfit that you can imagine. As well as that, she has jewelry, and I do like the earrings from this line. I think that they are really cool. Most of the earrings are two-piece. She's got her necklace, which is, you know, just a solid gold lump. Well, solid gold, if only. A plastic gold lump. And she has her bag, which is so heavy that she cannot hold it. I put it in her hand. Well, I mean, she can, but it just sort of balances and wants to fall off because it weighs her hand down. Boink, there you go. So her bag likes to sit on the ground. It has a zip in the plastic. The quality is pretty low. It's already splitting a bit at one end, so really nothing special there. I love her hair. It is really cool. I love the plaits. It is a mix of, normal regular hair and plaits. I'm fine with that. I guess I'd probably rather if it was fully plaits, but I know that everything is, a financial question between what works, what's cost effective. And I think this looks really good. And there's a great number of plaits. I've had some dolls, done like this. And there's just very, very little of the plaits, it's sort of just for visual effect. Whereas this is mostly plaits. There is some product down the bottom, so these will need to be washed. That's a bit annoying because, I risk unraveling some of those plaits when I wash out that product. Overall, I think she's a really cute doll. I think that at that 60% off price that she seems to be everywhere now, I'm really happy with this doll. I would be sorely disappointed though with the number of extras if I had paid her original full price. Now let's have a look at all the girls who I got hold of this time. All the dolls in this line present much the same features. So they all have the super long hair in fantasy colours. Once their fins are bent like this, the hair is touching the ground for all of them. Monroe's seems to be just slightly the longest, especially because it's got the waves in it, and the other ones are straight. They all have very similar faces, so yeah, we've got exactly the same face sculpt for every doll, although the designs of the lips do make them all look a little bit different and give them a kind of unique personality. The eyes are all inset and they have eyelashes. They all have different coloured inset eyes. In terms of accessories, they're very thin on the ground. So each doll has, like I said, their outfit. Some is a little bit more than others. Monroe's, I was drawn to her outfit because it's super cool. She's got the long fluffy coat. She's also the only one who's got a skirt. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but she does, and it's something extra. The other two just have the, the sort of dual tops, and they are pretty basic. On top of clothes, they have their jewelry and their bag. Some have more jewelry than others. I'm a little bit more impressed with Zuna's accessories. I think hers are, they stand out as being sort of the most interesting. We've got the earrings here, which have the little UFOs, and as I said, they're two-piece earrings, which I think is cool because, most Playline dolls will just have a sort of single piece. She's got her sleep mask. None of the others have any sort of, hat or anything on their head. And she's also got bracelets on all of her wrists. So I do think that in terms of, value for money, you're perhaps getting a little more with Zuna, and I guess also with Monroe because she's got more clothing. As well as the jewelry, each of them has a purse. Now, I think Bryn's purse is the least interesting. It is really just a block piece with a gap. All the others are actually opening. This one looks sort of like a makeup box. I'm not sure how to describe it. It opens up. There's nothing in it, but it is cute, and it clips closed, whereas, as I said, that one is just, hangs open. I love, again, Zuna's styling is my favorite. Hers looks like a magic 8-ball. I'm not quite sure how that fits with the UFO theme, but it is cute. I really like it, but I don't really get how her full look works together. The other thing I like best about her bag is that it is the only one that is light enough for her to actually hold it. Monroe has a nice grip hand that looks like she should be able to carry her bag, but when I put it in, the weight, it is sort of hanging on there. But as you can see, it's basically, about to fall, and her hand has, looks almost like she's broken her wrist to hold it. Another thing I like about this line of dolls is that they have really unique hands. I think that's cool. We've got a lot of peace signs, but they've each got kind of different ones unique to to their release. And I think that's fun. It makes me want to collect them more. But at the same time, I guess it ties in with, what I would say when I get to talking about the negatives of this doll, that, why don't they have, standard hands as well? They could come with both. Just to keep talking about the good things about these dolls, the tails, I love the unique tails. Bryn's is my favorite. I think it is adorable, and it is why, well, that and the hair is why I like this doll the best. I absolutely love her tail. Monroe's, I don't really feel goes with the pajama theme. In fact, her whole look doesn't really work with that for me. I'm not really sure what they were going for with that. I get Zuna. Now, another reviewer I saw talk about how they really liked her tail. I have to say that this is the thing that nearly put me off buying Zuna, and I'm still not sure about it. I really don't approve of exposed panties on a Playline doll for kids. I just cannot see how you can justify that. That just makes me uncomfortable. Feel free to disagree with me, but I don't think it's particularly cute. I don't think there's a reason to do it that way. I would have preferred her sweatpants were pulled up. But overall, I love these dolls, and I don't really say that about a lot of Playline dolls. They have their flaws. They absolutely do, like the jiggly heads, way too heavy hair, the lack of differentiation between the dolls, some of the weird styling. They have some issues. I think maybe the bodies could be a little bit more stable. Maybe the wrist joints could not flop, so they could actually hold the bags they come with. Stands would be nice. But the big question is, well, if they're cute, if they're really good, reasonably good quality dolls, why has this line failed? Now, I think there's a few reasons for that. The littler ones, well, value for money. Now, if you have a think about, well, I didn't pay a lot for these dolls. They were a little bit less than £15 each, so maybe just over $20 US. But that is the heavily discounted price, and a company is not going to be making money if all of their dolls are sold at the heavy discount. Now, I wouldn't have bought them. I wouldn't have bought even a single one if they had been at their full price over £30, because have a look at them. They're cute. Yep. And that's kind of it. Yeah, they're cute dolls. They're cute. I like them for just over $20 US. They're cute. Yeah. They're cute, and I like to have them, and I would not pay collector price for them. Okay, so value for money at their full price is not there, and if you're buying their discounted price, well, obviously the company is not going to stay afloat if all their dolls are sold at a discount. The second reason why I think these dolls have failed is their posability. So if you have a look at their tails, they have absolutely nothing there, and just the beast bit at the bottom. Any fashion doll you buy, literally any fashion doll, has a joint here for her knees, except really cheap ones. And again, we're thinking about this as a relatively premium doll, and I really think it is a huge flaw in the design of these dolls that they were not given a knee joint at the point here. Now, I think it really would have been worth it. I mean, get the design right straight away, make people love your doll, and then, you're going to make, hopefully, a wild success. So considering they have great posability in the upper body, it just seems a glaring oversight that they don't have the same level of posability in the lower body, in the tails. When something looks like an oversight, well, it's a problem. Fans are going to notice, aren't they? But the third reason why I think these dolls have failed, and the absolute killer, I think, for this line, is that they are a total one-trick pony. And I think that they almost made their bed as soon as they started by calling themselves Mermaze Mermaidz. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I absolutely hate saying that brand name. Maybe it's an adult thing. Maybe kids are okay with that, but call them Mermaze or call them Mermaids. But trying to say Mermaze Mermaidz every time just makes me cringe a little bit. But be that as it may, the fact that they are called Mermaze Mermaidz, it is very clear what they are. They're mermaids, okay? They are nothing else. Now, can we think of any other doll brand that has put themselves so much into a single little niche area? Now, I love mermaids. You know, that's why I bought these. But how many fans have been crying out for these dolls to have replaceable legs? How many people have been moving their heads onto made-to-move Barbie bodies? How many other mermaid lines out there come with either the slip-on tail or replaceable legs? And then we got dolls like Monster High, where we had mermaids in there, but oddly enough, the mermaids weren't even some of their most popular dolls. And they have all these other monsters and fairies and so many different cool creatures that they can, you know, draw into the line. They don't all have to be exactly the same. And I think that honestly, that is the biggest problem with these dolls. We have one idea, and you know, once you've got one mermaid, do you need the next, 15? We have a look, they're all very similar. They're cute, and I have several of these because they are, fairly cheap at their discounted price. And not only is every single doll a mermaid, but they are mermaids that have the exact same face sculpt. And yes, we can do all sorts of nice, pretty things with that face. But in the end, they are all going to look pretty similar, one from the other. And I genuinely really like these dolls. But I think that there's just some fundamental mistakes that meant these dolls were probably bound to fail before they even started.